Okay, we have 9 o'clock. Welcome to the Supervisors meeting for Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Call the meeting to order. Any conflicts, gentlemen?
None.
On the agenda, we are going to scratch number 5. Steve Kinkle could not be here today. He's at a meeting involving the pipeline. And we are going to scratch number 13. We're not quite ready for that. And the Conservation Director will not be here for the Department Head report. So, moving on. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve with the changes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consider approval of minutes from March 4th. Any changes, Taryn?
Looks good to me. I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Claims. You guys had a chance to look at claims?
Yes. Motion to approve.
And I will second.
Motion from Charlie, second from Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chris Frederickson, come on up.
Good morning.
Morning, Chris. Ready for your weekly blizzard?
Yeah, I think the last meeting we had, we talked about one too. So, let's blizzard.
Stop having meetings, we won't have any more blizzards, right?
Maybe, we could try it. We'll talk about that briefly here. Okay, first thing, right-of-way permits for Farmers Mutual telephone. I have 20 separate ones. They like to break them down, which is fairly nice, usually by miles. Same story as usual. I have their bond, I have their insurance. All of these are mostly in the, I'd say, west central part of the county. Just putting in fiber, boring is necessary, and plowing the rest of them. So, like I say, there's 20 separate ones, but they're all for Farmers Mutuals. So, I don't know if you have any questions. Otherwise,
They always do a good job. They're
Yeah.
respectful.
yeah, they do. So, otherwise, I would recommend them for approval.
Motion to approve.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, second thing we had on there was the approval of the secondary road DOT budget. The DOT has changed the way they are accepting those and approving those within their system. So I'd like to postpone that probably until around the 15th of April. We'll just see how I have to send it to them first now. They approve it and then I bring it back to you for approval. So it's backwards from what it used to be.
Okay.
Okay, Kirk and Michael bridge inspections. Probably the last 4 years we've had Kirk and Michael do the necessary inspections on our fracture critical truss bridges. And we do that just the excess liability and things with those structures. Greater liability overall. They do a very good job and it's reasonable. So I just wanted to present it to you just so everybody knows kind of what we do. And this year there is 6 pony trusses that are due along with 3 high trusses. So there's 9 structures total. And to inspect those, we're looking at a total of $6,450. And that's just the inspection, base price inspection and the report. If they have to do anything else, re-rate them, additional work, obviously that's additional. Generally, we haven't had to re-rate them. Last year we did close one, but that's a different story. So, should be right around that $6,450 mark.
How many of those
And
bridges do we have? Any idea?
left, I think with the trusses and the ponies, we're around 13. I think there's right around 10 ponies plus the 3 high trusses. Yeah, they are just an expense every year because of what they are. So going forward, if we can try and remove some of them and improve them, that's what I'd like to do also. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that before you to know what we're planning to do.
Is that an action item then?
If you want to approve it, that'd be great.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve the contract with Kirkham Michael for bridge inspection?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and just a few updates. Yes, snow. We'll see what happens. Hopefully not. I see 1 to 3 and I see 2 to 7 and I've heard 3 to 8
It's
or
all over.
12 feet. I don't know what's coming. So we'll wait and see. It sounds like it isn't going to change to snow until maybe midday tomorrow. obviously that does the trucks will go out, see how things happen. I'd like to keep the maintainers off the rock as much as possible, again, depending on the amount of snow.
The rain coming will soften everything.
Exactly. I mean, we will really tear it up, and then it's back up to 50 degrees on Thursday. So, you know, if we have to go out, if we have to bust through things, we'll do it, but minimal. So, play it by ear, and hopefully everybody can work with us too and understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. After the last snow, we did start spot rocking, so we hauled quite a bit out just to try and dress up some of these spots before any additional moisture. Hopefully next week we're going to start direct hauling to some of the roads with the local haulers, hoping to do about 40 miles continuous. So I like how that works. We don't have to reload, and we can do longer stretches and tie everything together. It seems to keep them nicer. So.
Good program.
Yeah, so we'll do as much of that as we can, you know, obviously weather barring too. If things change and if we have to take rock to other spots, it may get cut, but see how that goes. Along with that, next week we're hoping to start projects again, move some of the excavators out, try it, start doing a little more ditching, start a pipe project again that we were on, try and get that going and wrapped up soon. So depending on
hydras going on yesterday, so
it's
frost must be
finally looking like it's coming out and things are drying a little bit. So I'm hoping we can start moving. Again, depends what tomorrow does. That could help us or hurt us either way. So last thing in the office, I plan on starting bridge inspections next week also. So get those done. It's time. I think there's 86 of them to do this year. So.
Any more tires?
Yeah, there was one more area of tires on 58 west of 10th at the concrete bridge. Another good pile. I don't know how long it's been there. Just happened, somebody noticed it, so either it came over the weekend or the end of last week.
I saw where another county had a
Yeah,
pile. I
I saw
forget
it too.
what county it was, but
That's out somewhere.
yeah,
What
I
it-
think it was an adjoining county.
What it sounds like. So I don't know if we're related to that source also or not. We did go out last week and picked up just 3 of the smaller piles that we could grab with the skid loader. Just in that, we had almost 12 tons of tires.
And what
5
does that
dump
cost
loads.
us to get rid of?
That was, I believe it was right around $1,400 is what it figures out to, just what we brought in last week. And like I said, that's a very small portion of what's there.
Sure.
So,
There is a fine for that, isn't there?
yeah, I'm sure there is.
Oh, yeah.
We just need to
I
find
thought
them.
there was.
Yeah, if the public sees anything, please let us
I-
know, because this is gonna get expensive.
Yeah, in a hurry. It's just it's a waste of time and it's an expense to the taxpayers that we shouldn't have to take, so. That's what I've got for today, and hopefully everything shakes out.
I would just like to mention for everybody here that I received a nice compliment on your brush and tree clearing along F-16, I believe you said it was.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear those positive comments when they come in once in a
It
while.
is, it is.
Landowner appreciated the effort there.
Yeah, and I'll pass it along to the roadside foreman and to the guys. They did a good job, and it should help the road. They took a lot of trees out of that area, and it was always really shaded and always really soft. So it should be a productive move for all
The effort
of
was
us.
not unnoticed, so.
Great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, Chris.
Next up, Todd Valine.
Good morning.
How's Mr. Todd?
That's actually doing well.
Good.
We're ramping up for Friday night. So, that's the first thing on my list. Just a reminder that Friday night is our awards banquet. It's going to be held at Veterans Memorial this year. The doors will open at 5, and then we'll have cocktails at 5:30. Supper catered by Main Street Market, and then we'll play a couple of games and have our award ceremony. Got some really nice auction items this year. I think people are going to be very interested in the things that we have. And it is $40 per person, and you can just give us a call at the Chamber office, 755-2114, to order some tickets. Also, we're sending out congratulations to Mertu Medical Center Senior Life Solutions. They received the 2024 Program Expansion Award by Psychiatric Medical Care, which manages that program. So I know our Senior Life Solutions is a really good program. I've got folks I talk to who are participating in it, and they really enjoy it. Let the public know that the Monogram Foods Loves Kids Foundation grant is now open for applications. The deadline for applications is May 30th. This is something that any 501c3 here in Shelby County can apply for. The program, of course, has to support something for kids. And applicants will know by Friday the 15th of September if they received it or not. And so you can just go to the Monogram website, and there's a button right there for the foundation grant that you can click. There's going to be an interesting program on March 27th at the Harlan Community Library. It's a speaker program called Scam Prevention, and it's from 6 to 7. And it's going to be put on by our Shelby County Sheriff's Office and also Shelby County State Bank. And they are asking that it be 19 and older in the audience. And on April 2nd, the Harlan Community High School kids will be doing their Community Service Day. Now that's for any community that's part of the Harlan Community School District. The rain date will be April 18th. And you can give Jamie Anderson a call at 755-3101. She's the one who's organizing the projects for the kids. There'll be a brown bag lunch at the Museum of Danish America on Thursday, March 20th, this Thursday. It's called Beyond Blue and White, and it's being presented by Adam Burstead, who's an Albert Ravenholt Curator of Danish American Culture. So the way those run, they're actually kind of fun to attend, because you just, literally grab a lunch and bring it with you and have a seat, and they'll put on the presentation while you're sitting there eating. So. And then finally, at the museum this Thursday night, the Shelby County Historical Museum, 4:30 to 7. This is the second year they've done it, but it's called Educators Night. So all educators are in the local area are invited to join. You can be homeschooler teachers, you can be a youth group leader, things like that. And what they do is they just share resources as to different things and how to get a hold of what they need to be able to provide the services that they provide to the kids. So it's a good night, like I said, 4:30 to 7 on Thursday. And other than that, we'll take care of it this week.
Busy.
All right.
What's going on?
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, there.
Thank you. Bob Mortensen, Shelby County Trails Committee.
Morning, Bob.
Good morning. DOT spotted a typo, and since it was in the definition of the area of work, they have to have it corrected, and that's what they read. Since that is a pass-through from this board to the trails, it has to have the supervisor's approval to make the typo correct, so.
Okay.
Just,
What was the typo?
it was, they had the wrong street number for the end of the second phase.
Okay.
They had 1,600 and something, and it should have been 1,280.
That'd probably be relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the correct information for it then.
We have a form to sign, is that right? Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Yeah. You have a motion to approve
I'll second.
the DOT agreement 24-TAP-119 for federal aid program. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right there it is. Quick and easy.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You bet. You're welcome.
So
We just keep trudging ahead.
This is a trail on 191?
Yes.
Okay. The next
Yeah,
phase?
The next phase. And we actually have started preliminary engineering work on what will be the phase after this, starting at Portsmouth, coming back towards what we've already got done.
So how many miles is the second phase?
Second phase is actually about 1.3 miles.
Great.
Thank you. And could you send this to Mr. Flagg from the auditor's office? That way, there's no question that it was
Yep.
kosher.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. It's a great project. Auditor report on House File 718.
This is the budget statement letters that were mailed out, required by state code. It's to inform the taxpayers of the proposed property tax asking and levy rate for the 3 top entities where the taxes go, so school, county, and city. Each of these has a public hearing date where the public can come and voice their objections or ask questions on what's proposed for this upcoming tax cycle. And Shelby counties will be held April 1st at 8:30 in the boardroom.
Yeah, those statements are kind of confusing for the public, I understand.
Yeah, we've had a few
Yeah.
come in and ask, and they are confusing.
Yeah. And that's part of that House file passed last year.
Yep.
That mailing alone cost us several $1,000s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not a good deal. Okay, consider rates for dental and vision for fiscal year 2026.
Dental and vision premiums, vision did not change. And dental for single plans went up 86 cents and family went up $2. So I just need approval for the employee portion of that. Last year there was no increase. This year I had in for no increase, and the county would take that increase on premium.
Okay. Any questions, guys?
I'll make a motion to approve those 2 rate increases for the county to absorb.
Second?
Motion from Mike, second from Charlie, all in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports, start with Mike.
A couple things. I went to the ISAC Spring Conference along with several other of our county officials, saw them there. And just a few high-level notes. Attended a special meeting on the pipeline, and Steve Kinkle was there as well, and we got some new information on that. And things are progressing nicely, I think, for landowners. We'll find out. in the
South
month.
Dakota is requiring
Yeah,
our
no eminent domain.
no eminent domain.
And
So that's
hopefully
good.
Iowa will follow suit very soon, and that's kind of put a big kibosh on Summit's plans.
That's what our landowners want.
Hopefully it continues in that direction, we'll see, like I say, in the months to come. Property tax reform was a big one, that House File 718 again, there's all kinds of changes coming there. EMA funding is going to be changing if the legislation goes through. It'll be on a per capita basis for each community. Road use tax was discussed, with the evolution of EVs, electric vehicles. Road use tax money is going to drop significantly, and trying to figure out how to capture those dollars either at the charging station or registration fees when you buy an electric vehicle, something like that, to keep the road use tax money flowing in. Mental health and disabilities, there's a lot of discussion there with all the changes to the statewide system. And then some good discussion on Veterans Affairs and some of the programs that are available through that, so I'm going to follow up on some of those things. And lastly, I would like to say I attended the Shelby County Farm Bureau banquet last night, their annual banquet, and former Supervisor Steve Kinkle received the Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award. And that was largely for his hybrid corn museum that he had for years and years, and also for his work as supervisor on the weather-related disaster relief, and also the CO2 pipeline work he's done. So hats off to Steve for all the work he's done,
Well deserved.
protecting landowners' rights and educating the public about the history of finding corn and whatnot. So it was nice, and thanks to Farm Bureau for recognizing his service as well. So that's it.
Definitely well deserved.
Yep.
Didn't have a lot of interesting stuff on my committees, but the ambulance commission, we are working to get a full-time director as soon as possible. The financing looks like it's there, and we have a meeting this Thursday, and hopefully we can get hiring a full-time director. So
We have an interim right now. So.
interim right now. Yeah. Sorry.
I met a meeting last week, and their main concern was finding representatives for the small towns, which was still in discussion. I have a West Central meeting tonight. We had the safety committee meeting last week, and we had a couple of injuries, nothing serious. So,
Sounds good.
yeah. And that's about it.
Keep that mod factor down.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, department head reports. Jail is first on the list, so Kyle, you out there?
The most exciting one first, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen. Darren, how are you doing today?
Morning.
I believe I was here in January, but I went
Wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, so, but we're gonna give you some up-to-date stuff here. So, a few things to discuss today, a few things to present to you guys as well. Obviously, first things I like to do, I always like to start off with a little current stats in the Shelby County Jail. Give you a little idea here, it's not been as busy, but this year is kicking out to be busy. So I guess basically I'm gonna go back to our fiscal year. Since July 1 of 2024, we put 286 people through the Shelby County Jail. That is people. Now, obviously, we have a system that reflects the software, depending if they come in and they're weekenders or something like that, we don't tie up in the booking number for that, so that's great for statistics. But just to give you an idea how busy we're starting off 2025, 99 of those have been since July 1, or January 1 of this year. So now that 286, correct. So we've had 99 come through the door since January 1st of 2025. Little statistics, 73 of those male, 26 of those are females, so.
Must be providing great service.
Well, great service for the fact that crime does not stop, so a little interesting statistics there for you guys. Second thing, if you guys follow our Facebook page, you'll see that we released here last month and working in conjunction with Harlan Business Systems out of Des Moines and Austin Staley, our IT director, we have a public release now of up-to-date jail information and active arrest warrants. That is real-time data. So we published that. That can be found on our website, which is the shelbycounty.iowa.gov. You can go to the departments and click on the sheriff's tab. You can see the active warrants list. And we also have the jail, up-to-date jail information, current inmates, and then we also keep data up for the last 30 days of inmates that have come in there. That provides recent arrests, the charges, the release dates and times, and the bond information. So it actually cuts down on quite a bit of the calls into the jail staff for wanting to know like what so-and-so's in for in release time. So put a little plug out for that. And we will occasionally be sharing that on our Facebook page as well to provide that information. So I feel like this is a repetitive thing for us in the jail, but we currently have a job opening currently posted right now for a full-time staff member. So we are pushing to have that. I'm actually in talks with maybe one of our part-timers that may be interested in coming to the full-time, but we are actually currently still, we're just posting it last Thursday, and we've had 7 applicants come in, so we'll be screening those this week and setting up some interviews and getting that, hopefully get a good candidate that wants to get in and get started. So just a little plug for that. It doesn't require, for those who follow the notes or that watch this on TV, we don't require experience. So if you have no experience, it's fine. We'll bring you in, we'll train you. We're just looking for the right candidate that's willing to show up and want to work. And the jail's a great setting for those who want to get started off into a law enforcement career. So, I mean, if they want to eventually go into probation, parole, or become a certified sworn officer, the jail is a good step to get that career started. So give me a call, come talk to me. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. I always got to give a plug out to our current staff that's keeping up and picking up with some overtime hours and, picking up the slack and helping us out when times of need. We have a young staff, but they're a good staff. They do good work. So jail is not an easy job to come in and want to work where you're not treated with the utmost respect. So I have a current staff member that's going to be leaving here next week. He'll be gone through April 27th. He's in the military reserves, and they have their yearly AT training, so he will be gone for a month and a half. So we'll be covering that gap as well too. So What recent upticks, I've always plugged out mental health, substance abuse difficulties that we deal with day in and day out in our jail. We offer the training, the CIT training, the talkable training and stuff like that, but we do see quite a significant increase in our mental health and substance abuse, which piggybacks kind of my next topic. Obviously with the region that's going to be disbanding, that's going to be kind of a little hurt for us because we partner with integrated telehealth partners as far as that to get telepsych appointments. Usually when somebody comes into the jail-based setting, within 24 to 48 hours, we can have them in front of a telepsych doctor via an iPad that can prescribe medications to help them with coping, withdrawal, detox, and stuff like that, mental health medications. We were reimbursed a lot of those medications through the region. Obviously that program ended last October with the region disbanding. I'm not sure what's going to happen or how this is going to affect some medical budget because the county will be back to probably paying for those medications. So that's something we're entertaining. I am actually just worked last week. I'll provide this information to you guys. This is going to be a federal program that eventually when we get something, we may be looking at signing upon board approval, a contract type thing. It's a federal grant through a health management agency. Basically, they're a company that's based out of Washington, D.C., and they specialize in MOD, which is, for those opioid use disorders, for the mental health aspect of it, people who are doing opioid withdrawals. We see quite an influx in people who use and abuse opiates, and that is the worst one to have in a jail, somebody who's withdrawing from those. So fentanyl, heroin, those type of things, and we do see that, unfortunately, in Shelby County Jail. So what this is actually I'm working with them and maybe trying to create some type of partnership where we can get signed up with the county. Currently, Marshall County, Blackhawk County, and Polk County are the three. She actually just sent me an email this morning with that information right there. I'm going to set up I did a visit with her last week or a couple weeks ago on March 3rd to maybe look about seeing if this is something Shelby County can get on board with because this is federal funding that will help recoup costs and stuff that Shelby County may inquire for medical for people who are experiencing, opioid use disorders. So it's something, anything we can do to help because, unfortunately, that it is out there. We have our state jail inspection coming up in May of '25 with our Chief Jail Inspector, Delbert Longley. So we're currently in the process of trying to get that scheduled here. We'll have some things that will be discussed. There'll be a couple things that will get ding dong because there's some things that unfortunately are reasons beyond our control with building site safety and sound and separation things that we got ding dong the last couple of years. So overall, we're still a very well run facility. I always like to tell the staff we like to always be inspection ready because of the fact that this isn't something that we just prepare for. This is something that we do year round. So other than that, I really don't have any major concerns on that. Maintenance wise, it's becoming a cost, as Angel can attest to the fact of, I include some pictures. We've had about every month have to have our drains cleaned out because they get clogged. I know that's kind of a weird looking picture, but basically what it is, they're very careful about that because the cast iron there is getting corroded and rusted, and the fact that they're afraid that they're going to blow the pipe out, and if we do blow the pipe out,
Grabbing floors up?
yeah, we're gonna be shutting some jail cells down, and that's we have 3 main ones in each one of our showers, and as you can kind of see, we've had Alpha Omega, Sean and his crew have come in there, and they're very careful about things that they put in there because it's light pressure in those places where that's rusted out. If it blows that out, you're talking major renovation to get down and get that back in. So, and last but not least, I guess not last but not least, but we qualified for a grant through a federal program to get rid of manual. We still roll old school fingerprints. February of last year was signed up through Anna Westling through the IODCI. We secured, which we thought, a grant to be able to purchase this live scan machine. This is an APHIS machine. It's the Automated Fingerprint Information System Scan. It's a printer basically. It's like you see on all the TVs, all the cool stuff like that. We can basically put your hand on the screen. We can see on a monitor when it accepts the print. We step on a pedal and it captures it. Well, I checked back in with her in July, and her response basically was, unfortunately, we're not able to secure as much funding as we would have liked, and now the grants for this particular program are paused, but have no fear, I will get you changed over as soon as I'm able to. So, kind of a disheartening thing because we haven't trained a lot of the new people on a lot of the good fingerprint techniques because we were planning on going on this machine on March 1st, and unfortunately, so I check them through every month, and I'm like, is this something, because they've restated the fact that, they've kind of forgotten about us in the western side of the state, for us in the smaller counties. So hopefully to get that in, because that, I mean, basically, if we were to purchase this cost, this machine runs about 40,000, and about the monthly or the yearly maintenance cost is about 8,000 for the yearly maintenance and updates and stuff. So the grant would cover the cost of the machine and would cover the first 5 years of the contract of that. So that was gonna be something huge for us to have, and unfortunately, some things that did not work in our favor. So. And then I guess basically, and speaking, no formal action on it. I sent you guys an email here last week in regards to setting together a public safety committee. Unfortunately, did not make it on this month's agenda, so I don't know if you guys want to slate that till April 1st meeting.
Okay.
I will, maybe that, or I will reach out to Greg Wildy with Samuel's group to see maybe if he can come down for a meeting as well too, or we can set in conjunction with the city. I probably will request the city council, it's on their agenda for tonight, that maybe we just scratch that off the current agenda for their meeting tonight, because we want the board of supervisors to probably have the official adoption first before we go into that, if that makes probably the most sense, I would say, so.
Sounds good.
And then basically put that in the meeting to where we can get that scheduled. And like I said, if we get Greg to, we can come in and he can present and, to the board or answer any questions, and then obviously maybe have like a special city council session where that's not, because ours obviously in the evening, city council's in the evening, your guys' in the morning, where we can have a date. So I would look up some more information on coming that in the April, either April 1st or one of the April meetings coming up, so we'll have to be on their schedule, so.
Sounds good.
Other than that, keep on going.
All right,
So-
busy man.
Couple of comments.
Yep.
Greg and Samuel's group, I learned when I was in Des Moines these last couple of days, he will be retiring soon, so make sure they've got another person coming with him,
That's probably why.
if he hasn't mentioned that.
Yeah.
So,
Greg's been doing it a long time, okay, so he
Yeah.
must learn that.
I think
Well, I
he's-
did not know
I
that,
think he's got
but
a couple of months left, or 3 months maybe, but
Greg and I have had a lot of conversations over the last couple of
So,
years, and
that was-
he's been great, so that's probably why Mike came with that day.
I was talking to another, wasn't him, I talked to him, and he didn't mention it, I was
Yeah.
talking to another person from another county, and he said, he's retired. I think Page County, they're breaking
Yep.
ground on a new jail, I think they're
Page
using
County, yeah,
them.
he just got
And that's who mentioned it, so
Yeah,
they
Page
broke ground Saturday, I think, on the
Yep,
jail.
I did see that on their Facebook page.
And the transportation and medication costs through the region,
Yep.
they want to make sure you got those in as soon as you can, so that they can get those processed before they shut down July 1. And
Correct,
and
so.
a whole nother step there.
As far as that with the region, the transportation costs and stuff that we do through like the sheriffs and things like that, we don't actually get reimbursed for them. What I was getting from the jail aspect was the medication costs and stuff and reimbursement, and that stopped, I believe, back
Okay.
in December
Then after
1st.
July 1, anything you might have for claims would go
Yeah.
directly to Iowa PCA,
Okay.
is where those would go.
This
So-
quick question, I guess, since you represent, I mean, are they, it's a restructure now type thing? I mean, the region,
Yeah, they're going from 11 regions to 7 districts. And fortunately for us, Potawatomi County was chosen as one of the new 7
okay.
districts.
So will Suzanne Watson still be? in?
Yes,
Okay,
Susan's still there.
Susan's still there, okay.
Nothing will change from us. There's some of the counties are gonna have to kind of reboot
Yeah.
who they're working with, and a lot of change.
I mean, honestly, it's unfortunate. We've done a lot of good work with the region. They've been very partner. I mean, they provide a lot of trainings for like our CIT training and mental health, first aid and stuff like that. And it's been great to have that partnership with them. And
We were very fortunate that they were selected, because
Yes.
it takes a lot off our plate as far as changes in budgeting, and so,
I'm okay with that.
yeah.
Get all those notes down, Taryn.
Yep, got them all.
Okay,
And I
perfect.
don't know who our advocate is. Do you?
For the region, no, I don't.
It's probably you. That's what Suzanne told me, because she asked me who our
Probably.
advocate was, and I said, I don't know.
If it doesn't fall somewhere, they give it to the auditor.
Yeah, so, anyway, we'll need to know that going forward when they ceased to exist.
Yeah.
So we should check into that, and if there's somebody else we want to designate, we can, otherwise you seem to be doing a great job. So.
That's another thing on the plate, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Perfect.
let's get her a bigger plate.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You bet.
All right, EMA I have next. I didn't see, oh, there it is.
There it is.
Just hiding out there. Good morning.
Morning. Staying busy as always, so, probably the biggest thing I've been working on the last couple of weeks is FEMA reimbursement for those 2 towers that we had damaged. I finally got everything through the FEMA process, and now it has to get obligated by the state. So I just got an email a couple days ago from our state rep about documents that they need to prove that we did it right, and then they're gonna submit funds. So I'm hoping that we'll have funds this fiscal year, which seems weird to hope for, and then the tornado happened about a year ago, but it sounds like we should have funds this year, so still working through that. Another big thing is, so we have now taken over completely the 911 residential marker sign making in our office, and Jordan is going to go on a quadrant or quarter of the county each quarter of the year, and just drive it and find signs that either need numbers replaced or need a whole new sign, and then he'll work on making those signs. And I'm going to be putting a form on our website with a link on our Facebook page for if anybody has a sign that they need replaced, they can fill it out there and then we can get it done.
That's
So,
a good idea.
Yeah.
Good program.
Yeah, so I think it's something that responders definitely need in the area and out in the county, because a lot of those signs get sun washed and you can't see them. Something we've identified and been working on for years, and we're just gonna do it, so. And then, today, Austin is going to be climbing the, Agerland, I think it's Agerland, or, FSC tower.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a camera, a rotating camera on top of that tower. I worked with their manager to get an agreement signed. That way we can watch weather coming in. This is an idea that we had from the storm last year, and took a little while to get enough internet, or the right kind of internet up there to get it done, so.
There's a tower at FSC's.
Yep, the big grain elevator,
Okay.
they're gonna put it at the very
Okay,
top,
gotcha.
yep. So hopefully this will give us some better situational awareness for storms and stuff like that in the comm center, so.
Would that be something that the public can see, or just through your office?
We've talked about that a little bit. I'm not sure how that would work, because it goes through our current camera software, so I don't know if we can have like a public link that streams it or not, but I've had a couple people ask
It's
me.
kind of cool if
Yeah.
it works.
Well, yeah.
So how far out can you zero in on something?
Well, we haven't had it up high enough to actually check, but Austin did have it on one side of his office, and on the opposite side in a closet, he had a couple boxes with barcodes on it, and you could zoom in and see the numbers on the barcode. So I would imagine you could probably get a pretty good picture from, you know.
If the weather doesn't.
Yeah, you don't need to go all the way up, yeah, for weather, but,
You would look into Bryce's house, you'd probably.
yeah, yeah. And see what your dog's got.
A lot right now.
Yeah. Other than that, it's, like I said, it's coming up on a year for the tornado. So we're working on a little report. It just kind of shows how much people have gotten from federal assistance. I know it's not much, but just trying to capture like a year later what all has happened. And we'll get that out to everybody. Dispatch-wise, fully staffed. Things have been rocking and rolling in dispatch. We've had some interesting calls. We've had some stress debriefs that people have attended, and those definitely help, and that's something that we try to keep as a regular part of our operation when we have bad calls, because it definitely helps the dispatchers kind of relax. So, yeah, that's about all I have.
Talk about Tango Tango.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know, I forgot that. I've been doing it for the past couple of days. So we know that we've gotten a lot of feedback from the fire departments that pager service and radio service in some of the outlying areas is not great. And with us having one tower in the county, you know, it kind of is what it is. So we've been looking for options to fix that. We found this program, it's called Tango Tango. It's an app that you can download on your phone, and it actually, we have 3 spare radios that we have in the comm center that are hooked up to a cradle point box, and it transmits the radio signal over cell signal. So you can use your phone as a radio for those 3 channels.
That's good.
That's it.
Yep, that's it. So,
You can talk with your cell phone like they do on CSI or whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah. So it's,
Neat, very neat.
yeah, and then it's got a map on it. You can see if they're in the app where people are. We looked at the cost. We did a demo of it for a month, and the cost was about $5,800 a year for the program. That's about the cost of one radio, and we can put 3 radio channels in everybody's phone. So we figured it was a no-brainer to fix the paging problem that we've been having. I've made it out to most of the departments in the county. I still have about 4 or 5 left to go to. But so far, everybody seemed to like it and likes getting pages on their phone instead of stabbing on their pager, so.
They have to have their pager with them, or is it completely?
Completely separate. Yeah.
Need one.
No, as long as you have cell or Wi-Fi, you can talk to them. We actually had, so we currently have one law enforcement channel, it's only available to law enforcement, and then we have fire page and fire tech one is what we call it. The sheriff was over in Guthrie County doing a search warrant a few months ago, and he couldn't get his radio to work, so he was talking on Tango Tango from 3 counties away, so.
Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Next up, environmental Luke.
Morning, Luke.
Good morning, how is everybody?
Good morning.
How are you? Good. Mine never fell out there, right? Yep, I've heard that. Well, I just got a brief quarterly update for everybody today. With the passports, times have been remaining the same as of October of last year. We're still, routine service is still 4 to 6 weeks out. Expedited is 2 to 3 weeks right now, so. Every time I'm in fairway, run into somebody, you know, it only took us 3 or 4 weeks. So it seems like the department's kind of been on top of it, and they're getting them done a lot quicker than what they're saying. So as of January 1, we've processed 65 new passports and 39 renewals, and that's actually a little bit lower from yesterday. So it's been really busy this year so far. So. One of the new things with the State Department, this is just recent, you can actually renew your passports online now. There's some stipulations, you have to have it, you know, it has to be expired within the year, and it has to be good for 10 years. You know, you can't have a child that had a 5-year one due to the renewal process, so. I haven't heard anybody doing it yet. It is fairly new, so I think the State Department's kind of working kinks out, you know, with that. But other than that, the passports, we have been busy with those, so. We've started to get back to time of transfer inspections and perk tests, being as the weather's getting better and the ground's thawed out now. So we actually just set a perk test this morning for a new sewer system, so. We do got a lot of time of transfer inspections that we didn't get to last year just because the weather changed and the ground got frozen. So we've been trying to get those lined up with the new homeowners to get out there and get those done. So depending on the weather we get tomorrow or tonight, we might be out later this week starting on them. If not, beginning of next week. So. Water samples, we've been doing just about an average amount of those that we do every year, so it seems like wintertime it does pick up a little bit. Summertime it's about the same. Still the same thing, a lot of wells coming back with bacteria and E. coli in them. Just that ground has gotten so shrunk up from the well casings that you're getting groundwater down in there and mice and whatever else have you getting in there, so it would be nice to get some rain just for that fact and get those wells filled back up, so. Well plugging's actually kicked off already here in March, so had a few contractors out plugging wells already, so. New wells, haven't had any new go in this year yet, but as far as last year goes, it was about average that we see, about 10 to 12 new wells going in, so. Grants to county, I know we've talked about this. We get that $50,500 every year, and then come about March, we get reallocated money. I've been in talks with the state. I was told we were going to get reallocated beginning of March. Well, we're a little past that, but so we're still waiting to hear back how much money we need yet, because we are topped out right now. We're right at about $46,000. So. As of this year, fiscal year to date, we have the grant program has paid out $33,520 to the residents of Shelby County for plugging, assessments, shot chlorination, and then with that, so like if your contractor goes to plug a well and it costs $1,050, the county reimburses them $700, and then with that there's a $100 admin fee on that. So It's just really all the paperwork and stuff that we do. And as of to date, we are 10,925 for admin fees coming through, so, which is pretty average, you know, for what we do. So just the main thing, we got contractors looking to get out there and do some well work and still waiting on that reallocation money, so. Same thing with contractors putting in septics, they're all ready to go. The weather's getting good, so it's gonna get real busy here in the next couple of weeks, so. But other than that, that is all I have for you people today.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
We have Veterans Affairs down. There she is, all right. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Doing good.
Good.
So basically, there's been, you know, an uptake of veterans coming in, getting, whether it's been for getting more compensation, pension, helping widows with their spouses that have passed. Questions, a lot of questions coming in, especially with what is going on in, you know, with the VA. I can clarify anything that's being put out there and maybe help them navigate what's going on with the VA and what the VA secretary is doing. And also, there's been like an uptake with scammers for veterans, making it look like it's a legitimate helping out veterans. So if any of the veterans need clarification, or is this something that's legitimate or not, I can help them with that.
Good.
And that's pretty much it.
We talked about, during budget time, we talked about a possible volunteer program for transportation to appointments for veterans.
Yes.
Have you thought any more about that?
Working on that with other veteran legions and the VFW,
Okay.
working with them, of seeing what we can do to help the veterans, what is the need for it. I know that the Omaha VA does have a bus system that will come out here to Harlan and pick up veterans. It's limited on the days that they can pick them up, and you need to have at least 4 to 6 weeks advance notice.
I did talk to a few other supervisors from other counties that have programs in place, and I've got their contact information, so when you're ready.
Okay,
They've
perfect.
gotten grants for a van, and have volunteered, they have a system of volunteer sign up to drive, and so maybe it's worth having a discussion about
Yes.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'll stop in.
Yeah, any information to help out with that would be perfect.
Okay.
It's been on my list
I'll
of.
get you some names and numbers of people that are doing
Yep.
it, so.
Perfect.
Good. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Any other business? Tony?
May I update you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
I'm not on the list.
didn't write you down. You're
This way I
here.
can surprise you.
Surprise, surprise.
So, talking about assessments, wearing my assessor hat, as you may know, that in Iowa, in odd-numbered years, 2025 is an odd-numbered year, we as a state group of assessors look at what sold in our jurisdictions the prior year. And if we are more than 5% different for assessed values compared to what things sold for, at least for residential and commercial, we are required by state law to make a change. And so looking at what actually sold in Shelby County last year for residential, we're roughly 12% too low across the board. That said, there might be some of the small towns that don't need to change or change a lot, and other places that might need to go up more. But part of the way the state looks at it, if we're in compliance in the end, is I have to increase the total valuation by 12%, however that comes about. So typical increases you'd probably expect on residential will be 12%, but there might be some places 40 or 50% again. Residential properties in particular are very, very well sought out. Looking at the 15 sales we have in since January 1st, it's even higher than our assessed value than the average for last year. So it's not slowing down yet. There's still a lot of demand. Everyone says they pay too much, but if they want it, that's what they have to pay. And all I can do is try to reflect what things are selling for. Commercial's sort of in the same ballpark, roughly 12% across the board increase in value, but you know, individual properties will be more or less typically than that. And then the other bad news I guess I have is the ag values will be going up. So we kind of know the ag economy was stressed last year. But the valuation for property tax purposes in Iowa for ag land. Now, this is not what it's worth on the market, what it would bring it at auction or sale. But the assessed value for property tax purposes is based on a 5-year rolling average. The formula is called the productivity formula, and it looks at per county level, things like how many acres of corn did we have in production each year? What was the value of that corn based on Chicago Board of Trade? Lots of different crops are in there. There's hard-coded capitalization rate, there's factors for fuel and fertilizer and insurance and all those things, and it basically kicks out the total valuation. And we are actually going to be going up, and just about every county in the state's going up. I don't know for sure what our numbers are yet, I haven't calculated them, but other counties I'm hearing are 20 to 30% increase in the ag value. Because the oldest 5 years dropping off, the newest years coming on, and almost all of the growth is attributed to federal payments, went up significantly. So we have that to look forward to. I have to have everything postmarked by April 1st, so I assume things will probably go into the mail, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, somewhere in that time frame. When folks get their assessment notices, if you have a question or so on, give us a call. Just please be patient, as it's a small office, and I'm the only one with much experience with it directly right now, since Taryn decided to go to a different office. Good job, good timing, by the way.
Thank you, Tom.
The other thing too is I think we're able to visit all of the storm affected properties from what we had a list and looking at aerial maps and things like that. If someone does not get an assessment notice from us by like the second week of April, or you had questions, make sure you contact us, because I still can fix something that got missed or wasn't entered right or so on through towards the end of April. So let us know if we're missing something. And I guess I should also say that just because your value went up doesn't mean that your taxes will necessarily go up. Because, you know, the assessed values go up, then there's the rollback, which brings down the taxable value. We're also under Senate File 718 now, which kind of caps growth. So just because someone's value went up doesn't necessarily mean their taxes will go up. I mean, I can't say it will or won't, but it's not necessarily a reason to panic.
Simple formula.
It's very simple. Lots of moving pieces. Very scientific, except for the objective opinion parts.
There you go.
So,
More changes coming.
and potentially more changes coming this year with the legislature. So we'll see what happens.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
And with that, we will adjourn. Thanks, everybody.